What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to preview round 7 of the 2025 NRL season. And boys, I'm not going to lie. Normally I'm digging through stuff that's going to help me with my picks the day of when we on Teamless Tuesday. But today, man, I've been locked into the Lockie Galvin saga. It's been better than Bold and the Beautiful. It's been better than Married at First Sight, the drama. Seriously, it's been absolutely insane. Love to hear your thoughts on the whole situation too in the comments, guys. I will touch on it really quickly. Obviously, it's a preview video. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I obviously just want to chat about it a little bit. But before we do that, guys, if you haven't already, we are less than 100 to go before we hit 10k subs, guys. So if you can do that for me, that would be absolutely incredible. That was my goal when we started. I said if I can hit 10k within 3 years, I'll kick on with it, and we're goddamn close, and it's only round 7, boys. That would mean a lot. Now, also, guys, I floated this idea in my post-game video at the end, but obviously this video gets a lot more views, so I thought I'd float it by you guys too. Keep an eye out for a short that I'll drop this week. The feedback was pretty good for it. I'm going to launch like a community bet. All right, it's going to be using Dabble's Pick'em feature. So if you don't know what that is, I'll put it up there. Essentially what it is, it's just overs and unders, player stats and all that sort of stuff. And I think you put about 10 or 11 together and you get about 1,000x. Now what I was going to do is I was going to put in maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks of my own money. But I thought I'd make it a community punt where you guys can chuck in a $5 if you want, right? And if we hit it and it pays out like 50 grand, we buy a corporate box for the grand final. We get shenanigans on, have a loose time. Why the hell not, man? That sounds like a whole lot of fun to me. If we don't hit one, whatever. It's all good. I just always loved having a punt. I don't really like punting horses, but when you're at the pub with your friends and you chuck in on a punt, it'll be pretty fun, guys. So if you want to get involved with that, let me know in the comments here. I'll probably just do one myself this round. And again, if I do happen to hit 50k this weekend, I'll just do it and I'll pick my favorite YouTubers out. But moving forward, I'll try and set up a link where you can like chuck in a $5 or something like that. I need to obviously be able to get your email address so I can contact you if we win. And obviously it's on Dabble, so you can see if you win and I'm not keeping your cash. Stuff like that. So, yeah, I thought that'd be really cool, guys. So let me know if you want to get involved in that too. I think it'd be a lot of fun. All right, Lockie Galvin real quick. I've never seen anything like that. I was blown away with how like I was doing videos on it, and every hour a new thing would come out. It's like, like Lockie Galvin, how did it start? I can't remember, but then Appy Coruscant and all that, that's right, it came out, he's been dropped and won't be playing this weekend. Whoa, crazy. And I'm sitting there going, man, is this a good move, isn't it? Then it comes out that Benji didn't drop him. Appy Coruscant and Luai and a couple of others said they weren't buying it. They didn't want him to play, and then it comes out a bit later on 360, they made Lockie give a speech and no one was buying it, or they were walking out of it, and it's been chaos, man. And I actually can't believe what I witnessed, man. Like, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, well, bit rich from Luai, he left his club. It's not about leaving his club, it's the way it was sort of handled. And I tell you who I sort of feel like I think Lockie's done the wrong thing here, but I do feel sorry for the kid a bit. He's clearly been misled by a manager, something like that. But at the end of the day, bro, you're old enough to go to war. You're old enough to make your own decisions. You could have said no. No, I don't want to handle it like that. Your manager's there to negotiate deals for you. He doesn't say yes or no, you do. Like if you're trying to get a deal from, if you're going on the market and he says, I've got a deal from the Bulldogs, Rabbits and Dolphins, he doesn't pick one for you, you pick it. So it's chaos, man. But I love that the Tigers have drawn the line in the sand. I love, but yeah, I just hope it all sort of smooths over and it all works out to be pretty good. But it doesn't look that way, boys. She looks crazy. All right, guys, let's get through to the games. As always, too, guys, drop your 1 through 8 in the comments. I want to see who you're tipping this weekend too. Seagulls versus, we've got 5 days of footy this weekend, boys. It's Easter long weekend. How good. And boys, we're going to see some crazy crowd numbers this weekend too. Seagulls versus the Dragons. Bulldogs, top of the table, fresh off a bye, hosting the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Dolphins hosting the Melbourne Storm at Suncorp Stadium. Warriors at Go Media Stadium hosting the Brisbane Broncos. Always a banger. Roosters at Allianz Stadium hosting the Penrith Panthers. Gold Coast Titans, Cbus Stadium hosting the Raiders. The Knights, the poor old lonely Knights, hosting the Sharkies at McDonald's Jones Stadium. And West Tigers, technically their home game, playing at CommBank Stadium versus the Eels. Now, I'm really proud of the Tigers. I'm not sitting here saying they handled it perfectly or anything like that, but I really love that they've drawn a line in the sand. I just want to send a message to all the Tigers fans. If you live anywhere near, if you live in Sydney, go to this game, wear orange and support this team, man, because you've now got a leader who's sitting there posting. Oh, that was the thing I forgot to mention before. Then Luai's posting on Instagram, team first and all that sort of stuff. That's pretty cool, man. Like, you've finally got leaders in there who are standing up for what's right for the club and not for themselves. And that's what I do genuinely love. I'm a massive advocate for the players, but these guys have sit here and said, we don't want a bar of it. We're seeing through you like granny's undies. You know, you're going somewhere else to get money. We know you've got a club lined up somewhere else. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying that's the case, but, you know, so if you're a West Tigers fan, get out to CommBank Stadium if you can and go support your Tigers, man, and show Benji Marshall you support him, show Jerome Luai you support him, and, you know, that club's been bent over and annihilated from behind with no lubricant for a long time, and it's good to see some leaders in there that genuinely care about the club. Yeah. All right, let's go. Seagulls versus the Dragons. All right, so Seagulls got them 30-14 last year, and Dragons got them 20-12 that same year. So Seagulls actually coming off 2 losses. Dragons going win-loss-win at the moment. I feel like they're a win-loss team at the moment, which will get you into the finals. Just as long as you don't have too many 2-game skids in between, you will actually get into the finals going win-loss. So team lists, all right, ins, Jacob Arthur Saab. So Saab is back. Did he play last week? I bloody can't remember. LAS, okay, all right, so pretty much unchanged from what I can see. I cannot remember if Saab played or not last week. That game was a bit of a stinker. I'm not going to lie, I was on my phone a little bit during that game. And the money man, Tupolotu, is out, so who comes in for him? Fiange? And, all right, cool, so nothing. Oh, Egan's back on the bench. I don't like that. I really thought they were onto something with Egan starting and bringing on Leilua as a bit of a super sub. I thought it really worked. I really did. So, not a huge fan of that. Leilua, sort of guy that can tear a game apart, but also tear your own team apart with a few errors and some silly things, or just not getting involved at all is another option as well. So, as Seagulls conceded 72 points in the last 2 games. Have they really? Doesn't sound right. 24 and 40. Oh, Storm pumped them, that's right. I was going to say, I didn't think they got pumped that hard last week. Dragons have won only one of their past 7 games at 4 Pines. Ruben Garrick has scored 64 points for 4 games at 4 Pines Park. Tuapolotu, who isn't playing, has scored 9 tries in his past 7 NRL appearances. Seagulls back row Hamalu Alakawatu has scored 4 tries in 5 games against the Dragons. Wow, he actually hurt his shoulder in that game. It was hanging, and he's kicked on with it. Have a quick look at some matchups here. Got Brooks Dvorovich. Look, guys, so I'm going to take the Seagulls here. I'm going to take the Seagulls. I think the kicking game, so number one, I don't like Flanagan and Ilias's defence, and I think Brooks and Cherry Evans' kicking game can really pin the Dragons back there. I definitely think Dragons can win this, but also don't have a great record at 4 Pines. They are very good there, guys, even without Turbo. So I'm going to go with the Sea Eagles on this one, guys. I think they're going to win, have a bit of a bounce back win as well. And like I said, I really do feel like consistency is going to be the Dragons' not the downfall, but I'd like I just mentioned a little earlier, I think they're a win-loss team. I definitely, like, people have them for a spoon. I don't have them as that, but I definitely have them as a win-loss team, finishing with 10, 11 wins for the year. So they're due a loss because they just had a win. So also, guys, like I said, not all the markets go up just yet, so won't touch betting just yet, but keep an eye obviously on my YouTube, also on my Discord, and also on my Dabble as well. I'll leave links to those if you do want to join and follow on there. Obviously, I bet mostly on Dabble, and we chat a lot of rubbish, and I put all my bets up on Discord as well. If you're not a member of Dabble, for example, a lot of Kiwi bros are watching. You can't copy it directly off Dabble, so they usually just go on the Discord, and if they want to copy. All right, move on to the next one. Doggies versus the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs got them last year, 2016. They only played once. Doggies got them the year before, 2023, when they were absolutely hopeless. Beat them 36-32. Doggies on a 5-game streak. Rabbitohs coming off a loss. Johnston Sullivan out. Ooh. Latrell Mitchell still at 6. Cody Walker at 7. Campbell Graham back. On the wing? Okay. Then we have Kepi, Tola, Kulamatangi, Jairo, Lachlan Hubler. I'm going to tell you this right now, boys. I know there's a lot of the bros that watch, a lot of bros in the Discord are massive Doggies fans. I genuinely think Bunnies can win this, eh? I really do. I don't think this is bigger. I think everyone watching who's tipping is just going to go, Doggies haven't lost, coming off a bye, and they get Kickow and Burton back. They're going to win. I don't see it as that, eh? I really don't. I really think Bunnies can win. However, I don't have the plums to do that. When I checked the odds before on Dabble, they were given a 10.5 point head start, with a lot of people dumping money on the Doggies, because I know they will. If that balloons out to 12.5, I'm taking that. They can absolutely keep this close. Doggies, I know they've had some pretty solid wins, but they're not always a blow you out of the water. They're not a Melbourne who's going to put 40.5 on you. They might put 18 or 20 on you, but yeah, I really like Rabbitohs with a start in this one, guys. I really do. Now, Harry Hayes is out, Kickow back, Satilli back, Burton back, Blake Wilson back. So we got, so Montoya's keeping his spot, Wilson out, Carraz is back. Carraz played last week? He did too, yeah, of course. Love him for Origin this year, but I heard a lot of people saying, yeah, he should be picked for Origin. He just had his first game and it was pretty good, but I want to see 3 really good games from him before we start throwing his name in Origin chat, personally. I don't think he's so far ahead of everyone that it's, he just walks into the team or anything. So definitely need 3 good games for Carraz before I give him an Origin jersey. So we've got Max Kin, Saluka Fafita, Curran still in the second row, Preston. So Satilli on the bench, love that. Now Kickhouse has been named on the extended because he wasn't actually ever due to come back this week. It was possible. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. I think he's going to play because there's 70,000 people. Bulldogs fans, if 70,000 people show up to this game, you're my new favourite team. Seriously, guys. I've been keeping an eye on all the attendances this year because I think we're going to break it pretty convincingly this year. Last year's, which was a record. And we're right on track to break that as well. If the Bulldogs start pulling 50, 60, 70,000 a games, we're going to shatter that record because Broncos are averaging 45k at the moment, so pretty cool. Now, like I said, I really like this. I think this is a pretty even matchup, guys. I really don't have Doggies blowing them out here. I really think I actually really like Trell at the 6. I like Cody Walker at the 7. You can put, man, he's got a big bomb on him, man. And I know Connor's been flawless this year, Connor Tracy. He has sketchy hands from time to times. So if he puts those bombs up, Bulldogs have conceded 14 points in their past 3 games. It's ridiculous. Rabbitohs have won their last 6 Good Friday games against the Bulldogs. Wow. Stephen Crichton has scored 11 tries in 12 games against the Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell has won 11 consecutive games against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs require 1 try for 1,000 tries at Accor Stadium. Who do you have in this one, guys? It's at 4:05. Beautiful day. How good. All right, so we've got White and Tasson, Sherry and Montoya. I reckon we could be in for a low-scoring game here, guys. We've got Mamas. We've got Kulamutangi, Aiken and Graham. Man, Graham and Aiken can shut down. We might get a really low... I'm not touching try scorers in this game. No way. No way, Jose. Not that Bunnies don't defend crazy well. Like, I know they've leaked points. I mean, we can come back. I mean, if we have a look, they're leaking, they're leaking 20. It's not crazy or anything. 11, they're getting down to the Penrith Panthers, prime Penrith Panthers numbers right there. They did do it through a full season, though. They averaged 10.5. It actually registered it as 11, but it was actually 10.5 for a full season, which is crazy considering that I think at the time they were losing 7 players. So Bulldogs are right on track. Now, I don't see any real holes here. Like I said, I think for Bunnies to win, they have to hold the ball in the first 20. They have to not let Bulldogs get on top of them in the first 20. Not really lose field position and just terrorise Montoya, Carraz, and Tracy with high work. Like I said, Montoya, bro. I know a lot of Doggies fans, love Montoya, and I do too. He's been one of my favourite players, but he can have an absolute flop of a game with the hands. He's the sort of guy. He's like Corey Oates, where he can not look like dropping a ball and score 3 tries, and then the next game he can make 3-4 errors. So I'd be dropping bombs right here on the 10-metre line, right, around the 10-metre line, right between Montoya and Tracy, just putting those spiral bombs from the gods up, and seeing how you go. And Bulldogs, obviously, their method to winning is pretty obvious: control field position, low error rate, let the other team beat themselves, shift to an edge early. Done. Because I'm a gambler, I'm taking the Bulldogs to win because I know, I've said this before a million times, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get some defense. I know they're going to play good. They're fresh off a bye, but also I think Bunnies can win. But all that stuff I said they have to do to win, can they do it? Can they do it? So really fascinated by this game. Really am. On to the Dolphins versus the Storms. Whew. Big contrasting games there. 48-6 last year and then 24-20. Both teams on a pretty even, the last 3 anyway. Loss, win-win for both teams last 3 games. Melbourne Storms 1-5 overall. 1-4. Or have they played 5? I can't remember. Let's have a look-see at team lists. All right, Moses Leo out. Howarth in. Grant Anderson in, sorry. Howarth was always in, wasn't he? Yeah. Once Jerome Hughes named, that's huge. In Suafaa Longo named. Where's Big Nelson? Still not there. Damn. Right, now to the Dolphins. Who else we got here, guys? We've got Ray Stone back, Kenny Bromwich, Junior Tupou, Francis Molo. All right, so back 7 is unchanged. Then we have Saifidi, Marshall King, Felice, Finny Fuyaki, Gilbert Payne. Love it. All right, so unchanged. Love it. All right. Dolphins have won 3 of their past 4 games at Suncorp Stadium. Storm have scored 102 points in 3 wins against the Dolphins. Hamaso has scored 4 tries in his past 2 games. Grant Anderson has scored 5 tries in his past 4 games. Curl make his 100th, man. Not worth maybe chucking a tenner on him to score a try. Man, Storm are absolutely flying at the moment. It was funny, I saw people debating who's the front runner at the moment, Bulldogs or Melbourne. And it is tough. It really, because like consistency, to me, consistency wins your minor premierships. Being an absolute weapon team wins you the comp. And like I'm leaning more towards Bulldogs being consistent and Melbourne just like how many times they put 30 on in a half. You know, it's pretty mind blowing. All right, so we have Farnworth and Bostock on Anderson and Farlongo. All right, so Farlongo's in for... Who filled in there again? Is he actually in? Hang on, let me go back and check this. Did I just glaze over that, did I? Oh yeah, I did. I did too. Whoops. Farlongo in there. All right, cool. So Bostock could definitely get over Farlongo. Then we have Katoa, Avarillo, Isako, Munster, Howarth, Coates. I reckon Coates is probably the best winger in the comp at the moment. He's looking absolutely incredible. Yeah, look, guys, I just can really see Melbourne's pack going through this pack. It's been a bit slow to start with. If you're slow in and around the muck, in the ruck, you're playing in mud, Harry Grant will tear you a new butthole. And everyone feasts when Harry Grant is tearing you a new butthole. I think Melbourne Storm win this pretty handily. They're no strangers to winning games at Suncorp either. I don't see that as an advantage at all for the Dolphins. So I think Melbourne Storm win this one. I really do. Melbourne Storm. Wars versus the Broncos. Wars got them 32-16 last year. They didn't play they only played once that year. 42-12 last time. That would have been in the finals game. Yeah, Jesus, what a big win for a finals game, eh? Both teams identical records. How crazy is that? Loss, win, 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 loss. So someone's going on a 2-game skid here, guys. Who's it going to be? All right, so unfortunately for the Warriors, CNK out, Fisher Harris out, Rocco Berry out. Kurt Catewell into the centres. I don't love that. Kossi to the wing. How do you say it? Leilatu? Pompey, CHT, Metcalf. All right, so Jackson Ford in the front row. Surely put one of those Islander lads on there. Jackson Ford is not him. You know, I think some players just must train really well. Because we obviously don't see him train right. We decide whether a player is going to play on his past performances on the footy field. But I just remember watching players. I remember Bryce Gibbs was the first one I ever thought it. My mate said it as well. Like this is 2005 or 6 or 7 or somewhere around there. And we're like, how's this dude in the NRL, man? Like, I mean, not in the NRL, but how is he starting over all these other guys? Like, why is everyone... We could never understand it because he just used to get pumped all the time. Ogres knocking him out left, right and centre. And we just must go, he just must kill it at training. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Jackson Ford, surely you're not picking him on form, like how good he's been playing, you know? Halasima gets a start. Ooh, I like that. Then we have Tamari Martin in the 17. I don't mind that. Laban, Varma. Surely give one of these bros a start. Maybe just once Ford to weather the storm. And not a bad idea, actually. And then you come on and get these guys running at tired Payne Haas's and Carrigans. Man, I really need to see Payne Haas playing less minutes. Playing him like a normal front rower. Jack Jureski is out. He's out for about 6 weeks, guys. He broke his arm. So Ricky back. Hunt goes into this. So I'm assuming Ricky will go right. Hunt will go left. Big Benjamin. Is he named? No. So we've got Smoothie. What is with this bench? Why do you have 3 locks? I mean, 3 dummy halves. You know what, bros? I feel like sometimes Brisbane Broncos this year, like Madge is clearly a pretty good coach and Trent Barrett's not. I feel like sometimes Trent Barrett's coaching this team and then other times it's clearly Madge. I'm like, that's a Smoothie, Billy Walters and Pakes in the team. Like, surely not. All right. All right, so this is in New Zealand, guys. So Oops, we forgot to do this one, guys. All right, Warriors have won both games at Go Media Stadium in 2025. Did it used to be called GIO Stadium? Was that another one? I can't remember. Broncos have won 3 of their past 4 games played in New Zealand. Lealotu has scored 4 tries in 4 games at Go Media. Jesse Arthurs has scored 9 tries in his past 7 NRL appearances. Adam Pompey will play his 100th. Adam Pompey's going in for a try for me. All right, man. All right, so where's Kate Will? I'm taking Shibasaki and Arthurs for 2 or more. I do not rate Kate Will in the centres at all. His lateral movement's well past him. And this is gonna be. We got some matchups, lads. This is going to be a good game. This could, man. I tell you what, Warriors could really make a statement here, man. Warriors, if they let these young bucks go, if, like I said, if Jackson Ford just plays the first 18 minutes or something, and these boys come on and just like tear in, and Halasima just goes, no, who's Halasima on? He's on Ricky. If he can pump Ricky, they can really make a statement here, man. They really can. I know a lot of people just completely writing them off. I'm pretty sure the bookies have them paying about $4. But if they can go out here and make a big statement, like I said, the good teams win when they're missing players, Like we just saw Bulldogs win games without their best players. Where are they? $1.09. Oh, $2.95. That's not bad, actually. Broncos. $1.40. Yeah, look, I'm going to take the Broncos just because they are pretty good in New Zealand. More set team, but I'm not. I really like the Warriors. And we know we're going to get some upsets this weekend, boys. Like, we're going to get 2 upsets this weekend, for sure. This year's turned into, well, it was last year too, actually, a bit. It became pretty predictable to pick at the end of the year, but this year there's going to be 2 upsets every weekend, and it's trying to pick the 2 upsets is literally what tipping is this year, and it's tough. It really is to pick which 2, because if you pick the favourites each time, you're gonna get at least 2 wrong. At minimum, you're gonna get 2 wrong. But I'm gonna go to Broncos in this one. I do think they will be a little strong. On to the Roosters versus the Penrith Panthers. Roosters got them 38. Who did the draw this year? This was this year, 38-32. And then Panthers beat them in the final last year, 30-10. Penrith on a 5-game skid. Roosters, 2 of their last 5 coming off a win. Let's have a look at some team lists here, guys. Now, Tom Jenkins has gone to win, man. Pass the ball to him, McLean. Pass the ball, bro. Come on, man. Garner in at centres. I don't love him as a centre. I don't know if Tungall's been dropped. But Luke Garner's pretty good in there, eh? Like, he's not a strike centre. He don't score you a bunch of tries or anything. But he'll defend it well, and he won't do anything wrong. And if he gets a break, he won't do what McLean did. He'll draw and pass. He's not going to be like some of these other centres that tear you to pieces. But he'll do his job there. We've got Blaze in the 6 again. We've got Cleary, obviously. Mitch Kenny back. Huge inclusion. I don't think people realise how important he is to their middle defence and slowing down the ruck and their line speed. Lindsay Smith starting. Moses Leota, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo. Brad Schneider, Isaiah Papali'i. Tungle on the bench. Give him a go. Give Patia a go, lad. Look at him as if he can't play footy, man. You need a middle. Get him in there, Ivan. Get him in there, lad. All right, let's go back up here. We got Marky Mark back. I still can't say his name, boys. I'll get it eventually. So we're pretty unchanged here. Loved what Savala did last week. We've got Nat Butcher starting again. We've got White. We've got Angus Crichton, Sil Wong, Victor Radley. I like Victor starting on the bench and him and Spence came on at the same time. Spence playing his old club. Yeah, this is interesting, guys. Roosters aim for 2 wins. Roosters are aiming for 2 wins in a season against Penrith for the first time in a decade. Panthers have won 2 from 2 at the new Allianz Stadium. Dom Young has scored 16 tries in 13 games against Allianz. Nathan Cleary requires 4 points to break the all-time scoring record at Penrith. Roosters a Roosters victory will give Trent Robinson his 200th win. Shout out to you, Robbo. All right, so we've got McLean and Alamotti on. Okay, so that is in Penrith's favour a little bit. Marky Mark, relatively inexperienced, and on McLean, who's pretty inexperienced as well. Alamotti on Tupou is pretty. I mean, Alamotti does look pretty sharp sometimes, man. I see him from time to time. I'm like, this dude might be the best, and then he has a bit of a flat game or whatever. But when he's on, in that grand final, oh my god! And then we have the edges just suck, don't they? I'm talking about Panthers. Like, we've got Garner and Jenkins, McLean, Alamotti. Damn. Wish they had Tiny May still. Tiny May would have slotted straight in there. Look, I think this is what I think. So Roosters come out with all the effort and energy and do all that sort of stuff like they did against Brisbane last week. And they get on top of Penrith's pack in the middle. I think they can do enough to win. But if Penrith get on top in the middle, Isaiah, Kenny, Sorensen, Martin, Smith, Leota, all that, I do think it will give Cleary enough space and time to do what he needs to do to get the job done. So I think really who wins the middle here, whoever plays with the most effort is going to win this game. We've got Tedesco on Edwards, but just where the real glaring, because we've got Toya, who's pretty new. We've got Dom Young, who's been dicey in defence. So edges on edges, it's a bit of a, I'd almost say that Roosters is better, but it's not like, it's not like if the Doggies are playing and you've got like Crichton, Karaz and Sherry on Jenkins and Garner and stuff. Like, we've got Toya new, Marky Mark new, Dom Young, Bin Dicey, and Tupou, who's a beast, but on the older side. And obviously Savala. Is it Savala? Yeah, Savala versus Cleary. I mean, one game in the halves versus 200 of the best. You'll take Cleary. I'm going down with the ship, boys. I'm tipping Penrith until they win a game. I'm tipping the Panthers to win this one, boys. Up the riff. Come on, boys. I feel, man, all these... You must be fuming if you're a Panthers fan. I mean, not a Panthers player, like all the disrespect they've been getting from all the memes. I'm seeing all the memes. I'm like, bro, they won 4 in a row and you're dissing them. Canberra Raiders versus Titans. Raiders beat them 21-20 last year, and then the year before that, 26. So close games. Either team 1-12, anyone? Hey? Titans coming off 2 losses. Canberra coming off 2. Look, guys, I heard people say, man, what's wrong with Eels? And they weren't great. But, bro, I've just come to the conclusion that Raiders are a really good rugby league team this year, man. Raiders are good, bro. Like, stop dissing the milk and saying what's wrong with the Raiders. The Raiders are awesome. Like, the Raiders have beat the Sharks. I mean, they went up the count, but they messed that game up. They said that, that this Seagulls game, again, I'll give them a bit of leeway with that one. That was, we all saw what happened with the refereeing and stuff like that. Still think Seagulls would have won, but not 40-12. And then, pumping the Broncos. I think they're a good team, man. I really do. I think the Milk are... I would not be surprised if they're sitting in the top 4. I've had them in my 8 the whole time. But if they're in the top 4 this year and people are like, man, can you believe they're in there? I'll be like, yeah, I can. I can believe they're in there. They're good. All right, Hoskins back. That's huge. Now, I love... Oh, no. What have you done, Ricky? Jeez, I'm disagreeing with all the bloody coaches, aren't I? No, what have you done? What have you done? Zach Hoskin in at 13 for me. He was so good in the middle. And then put Big Reg in the prop, so I agree with that. Bring Papa off the bench, love that. I like Smithies off the bench. I watched him play all last year, starting at 13, and I'm like, he's all right. Zach Hoskins is the dude, bro. Zach Hoskins in the middle for me. I was so shocked how good he was in the middle because he's always been a bit more of an edge. And I'd be bringing Smithies on as an impact forward. So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out, guys. But I don't love that. I like Smithies. He's really good, but I like Hoskins better. And when I saw Hoskins was back, I was like, oh, yeah, man. Like, bring him back on through the middle. Raiders are going to be on one. And then I was obviously just saw that. I'm a little disappointed. Brock Gray out. Isaac, the Fasula Mala'awis are both back. Jojo Fafita back. Huge backs. All right, cool. So we've got the Groot still at the back. Jojo on the wing. Brimson and Campbell in the halves. Tino in at lock. Okay, so they're staying with that. Look, guys, what I think they need to do, again, I'm disagreeing with they've been getting pumped when their bench comes on the last two games. They've got State of Origin player, State of Origin player, State of Origin player. No disrespect, but the lesser-known brothers, Jalen Jolliffe, Huzo, Randall, they need some grunt on the thing. One of these guys has to go on the bench. And one of these guys has to come on lock. I don't know if it's Cleese or Jolliffe or whoever through the middle. And they need to get some punch through the middle. From I don't care who it is. It could be Regan, it could be Mo, it could be Tino. Oh, actually not Tino has to start. Because he sets a tone. But again, geez, I don't think I've ever disagreed with team selections as much as I have this video. Oh, God. All right, Titans have lost 3 of their past 4 games at Seabus. Come on, guys. You're trying to get fans. Raiders have won 9 of their past 10 games against the Titans. AJ Brimson has scored 4 tries in his past 3 games. He's been in my super coach too. I can't remember, but one of the bros from YouTube told me to put him in. He's been pretty solid. Hudson Young has scored 5 tries in his past 4 games. Titans have not defeated the Raiders at Seabus Stadium since 2018, which is wild because Raiders don't have a great away record. All right, let's have a look at some matchups. Man, I really like the Raiders this year, eh? I really like them. Like this is going to be the issue, guys. I'm taking the Raiders. We're going to have... Sorry, I've got to make sure it's in the middle. Horsburgh, Tarpany, Starling, Nicholson, Young, Papali'i coming, and then you got Papa coming in off the bench. They're going to be able to hold down, if not beat this forward pack. If they do beat this forward pack, it gives Brimson and Campbell nothing to run off the back of. De Groot and all these guys, like, it's just not Kenny. I think Raiders get this one. Their edges are... You got Tomoko and Savage on Kelly and Francis. You got Chris and... This Tamale dude is so nice. He's so nice on Sammy and Fafita. They've got him covered everywhere, guys. Raiders win. I don't think they'll win handily, though. I actually think the Titans are going pretty good, man. There's just some obvious flaws in their spine, and it's the most important part of your team, just about. I mean, but the spine is useless without a forward pack. I always hate... It's hard to say that because I've said that the spine's the most important thing, but people like Snaggy. But you've also said that forwards win games and halves decide by how much. I'm like, all right, they're both as important as each other, but they have to coexist. But you get what I'm saying. You need both, but... You look at Melbourne, like, if you actually look at Melbourne's roster, like, where are they? Where was the Melbourne game? Yeah. If you look at their forward back, like Stefano, is he 10th best prop? Maybe not great. Max King, not incredible. Alec McDonald, Tui, but they hold the middle down. They hold it down in the middle. And then Trent Liero in the middle, like, you know what I mean? They just hold you down. And then Nasty comes in and runs over the top of you. All right, so yeah, I'm going to take Raiders to win this one, guys. I think they can really love what Starling's doing out of dummy half. Yeah, Raiders should get this one. Day game? Sure is. Oh, man. Newcastle Knights versus the Sharkies at Shark Park. Oh, it's a McDonald Joe Stadium. Last game, 1918. I remember that one, actually. Pretty sure I lost a bet in it. So that's why I blacked it out and can't remember it exactly. Knights beat them 32-6 in 2020. That was in 2023. Sharkies coming off a win, and Knights coming off a 3-game skid where they've scored 4, 0, and 6. They just cannot score points, guys. Like I said this before, like Doggies kept them to nil, and we're all like, wow, crazy defence, and it was. But like, all of a sudden it doesn't look as great because they can't score on anyone. Jesus. Scored 9 points average. I've never seen single... We'll get to Parramatta in a minute. They've sucked. They're at least in double digits, man. Like, this is outrageous. What is going on? Joe will be turning in his grave. All right, KP, Schiller, Gagai, Best, Marju, Sharp, Gamble. Gamble? Okay. Tyson Frizzell, front row. Leo Thompson, Crossland, Thomas Camp. Sweet. I was hoping he'd play again. Pierce Paul, Croker, Brayley, Tyrone Thompson. It's pretty cool to see him get a run. I actually didn't mind this dude either. He looked nice. This McEwen. Brody Jones. Croker is... Jared Cogger is named on... How far away? Is he injured? What's going on with him? Has he just been dropped, has he? Look at this. Half, half, half. You got 3 halves in the reserves. All right, on to the Sharkies. All right, so Will Kennedy, Stone Street, Ramian, Hiroti, Ronaldo, Mulatalo, Trindle, Hines, AFB, Brayley, Kafusi, Nikora, Teague Wilton, McInnes, Hangerson, Siffer, Rudolph, Hazelton, unchanged for the lads. Knights have had the second best defensive record in the competition. Sharks have won 4 of their past 5 games against the Knights. Knights have scored 10 points in their last 3 games. Britton Nikora has scored 4 tries in his last 3 games at McDonald Jones Stadium. Wow. Fletcher Sharp has scored 9 tries in his past 7 games at McDonald Jones Stadium. Guys, I actually have no doubt at all that at some point their offense is going to click and they're going to be really good. I had people message me this week, Snag, what do you reckon? We put Knights under 12.5 this game? And I'm like, I probably would take that in this game. But I promise you at some point they're randomly just going to put 40 down and their attack's going to click. I just have a feeling. Like, they do it all the time. Cheese actually said something in the potty today, though. He said... Now, this is really interesting. And I did notice this back in the day. I just forgot it. So, Knights have gone on massive runs the last 2 years, right? But if you actually notice, Ponga was out when they started those runs, and then they dropped him back in. I feel like they're just trying to rely on him too much. I'm going to go back a bit. They sucked at the start of those seasons. Ponga gets injured, and we're all going, Knights for the spoon. They start going on a nice little run. They drop Ponga back in, and they... up like that. That's what's happened the last 2 years. He's actually been out for little periods. I think 2023 was the head knocks, and then I can't remember what happened in 24, but he was out for 4 weeks maybe. And then I think they won 3 or 4, and then they just went and just absolutely shot up. I think it was around Origin time. Maybe Ponga needs to get injured. But yeah, it's very interesting. Maybe they have just tried to run everything through Ponga, and everyone's just done tape on him and just knows exactly what to do. And I've just been watching teams defend them. They literally just drop another dude on the other side. Like, if they see Kalen Ponga sweep around here, like McInnes, who's like normally would be like right in the middle or whatever, or Brayley or whoever, they just will go one over, and they've all of a sudden got an underlap, you know. Sharkies forward pack should go through them. Better line runners. There's points everywhere for them. Stone Street, Ramian, Hiroti and Mulatalo finishing well. Apparently, I've been giving Kennedy a bit of a hard time. Apparently, he's been really sick the last couple of weeks. So, I like Gamble as a player, but I do think he's more of a lock or a 6 than a 7. Does have a big boot, though. And Schiller's just... like, bro, I'll be real, man. I reckon the last 2 weeks, last week in particular, I reckon they were close to one of the worst performing rugby league teams I've ever seen. It was that bad. Like, straight up, I love Knights fans, man. Like, they're so loyal and hardcore. They should have got a refund. Like, they should have got a refund. They filled the stadium and just played like... they played like grade kids. They played like I'm not talking trash. Like, right, I've seen my son's team play better at 14s. Like, not exaggerating, like, at all. Yeah, so Sharkies win this one for me. I know, but hopefully they put up a bit of a fight. I might take Knights unders on halves rather than the whole game, just in case they have a big blowout game. I could still maybe hit it. You know, like under 17.5 in the first and the second half, something like that. Yeah, just play it safe, just in case they do have a 24-point game. You know. West Tigers versus the Eels. This is a crazy one, boys. This is a crazy one. West Tigers got them this year, 32-6. So many teams are playing each other twice already. Eels pumped them last year, 60 to. This is the Spoon Bowl, wasn't it? Eels 1 win of their last 5, and Tigers coming off with. I'm just going to get into it right now. Lockie Galvin's been dropped, obviously. Skeleton out. When I saw this Galvin stuff kicking off, I was like, and I saw Moses was back. I'm like, I'm taking the Eels for sure. They're going to win this. But the way the Tigers have sort of drawn the line in the stand and said team first, I feel like it's sort of made them stronger. You know what I mean? I feel like they're really going to get up for this one to sort of show Galvin, I need you, bro. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, he's sort of sitting there, you know, like Luai, all these guys are sitting there going, not buying what this kid's saying. He's chasing cash. He's made a deal somewhere else. He's talking absolute rubbish. You know, and I have a feeling they're really going to show up in this one. I really do. Now, pretty unchanged besides that. This is actually going to be a good game. Parramatta have heaps. This Parramatta team is so much better than the one that's been running out. I know it's not still full strength. But we've got Longy Fox, Penasini, Russell, Bailey Simonson, Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses. That is a really good halves combination. I know Dylan Brown hasn't been great, but when he doesn't have to do, when he's not being relied on to do everything, that's when he really shines. Jack Williams back somehow. Must have been hitting the stem cells. Riley Smith starting. Junior Paulo. Kilmer in that second row. Love it. Then Katonga is terrible, but Jermaine Hopgood, sorry. Then you got Dylan Walker, Moretti, Dury, and Tuavilati? Hey, Tuavilati. I love it. I really love it. I really do. Hawkins gone. Yeah, I actually genuinely like this team. This is the best team they've run out with this year, even without Zach Lomax. Now, whoever Brett Naden is defending against, I'm taking as a try scorer. Oh, I really want to pick the Eels, man, because I've taken all favourites here, and I know there's going to be upsets. And I'm not trying to take all favourites. I'm just literally, I don't check who's favourites. I tip who I think is going to win, and then on some you go, oh, I've only picked 2 upsets here, or 1 or none. But I know there's going to be 1, probably 2 upsets this weekend. Let me see. I think the Eels have to be a lot better than them to win this one, all right? So they're playing at Combank, which is technically Parramatta's home. I dare say it's going to be even crowd because a lot of Tigers fans will show up for this one. All right, so Parramatta have the advantage in the halves. Taruva or Russell. All right, so wow. All right, so Tor and Taruva on Russell and Adokar. I like that line. I like that side better for the Tigers. But then they have Naden and I don't know how to say the bro's name, Lalowli on Simonson and Penasini. They could definitely do some damage over there. And that's Mitchell Moses' side. Mitchell Moses, Naden coming back from an injury. Luai, an okay defender. Fanu. Did I do the stats? Oh, did I do these? I'm just going to do them again real quick. Tigers have won their last 3 games against the Eels at Combank. The Eels have won only 2 of their past 8 games at Combank. Wow. Tarivo scored 7 tries in his last 5 games. Russell has scored 4 tries in his past 5 games at Combank. Dewey will play his 100th. Sorry if I already did that, guys. I'm really struggling with this game. Hang on, I need to go back here. I've got to take an underdog, lads. I'm not taking an underdog. Like, that's just ridiculous. All right, I've got to go through this again. Sorry, boys. I really think the Sea Eagles win. Thing is, I really think the Rabbitohs can win this, but Bulldogs are so consistent. I can't tip against them. Storm, just too good for just a better rugby league team right now, and I don't see enough holes in their game to lose to a 14th place team. Broncos on Warriors. Oh, Panthers will be underdogs, wouldn't they? I don't know. The Warriors to beat the Broncos. Warriors could absolutely win this. Roosters on Panthers. I'm going down with the ship though. Raiders to beat the Titans. Knights have been terrible. I can't tip them. I've got to do the bloody Tiger. I've got to do the bloody Eels. I'm doing the Eels. Now this is how I think it's going to go, right? If Eels are going to win this, they're going to have to start real hard. Because if the Tigers get on top and start to jump all over each other and start doing the queer, what's it called, claw. It's cool, boys. I'm not dissing the Tigers or the claw, but actually when the players do it, it looks pretty cool. But then, they kept cutting to the crowd, and the crowd's like, oh, I'm not in there for camera. I was like, oh, guys, you look like such fruit cups doing that. Just let the players do it. As good as May and Paul have been, I don't think they're like going to annihilate Paulo and Williams. Hopgood's pretty solid in the middle. Tulangi on Seyfarth, I could see some points there, possibly for either team. Katonga or Fanu. Yeah, I'm gonna go Parramatta, but I'd really. But I'm thinking about Mitchell Moses at his prime. Like, is he even going to be at his prime? You know what I mean? Man, this is tough, boys. This is really hard. I really wish I made this decision a little earlier. Normally I know what I'm picking. What's everyone tipping? Sorry, you guys. Everyone is taking the Tigers. 90% of people have taken the Tigers in this game. That is wild to me. Because when you match, if you just forget emotion and stuff, if you just match these teams up, Longy, Adokar, Russell, Penasini, you got Naden and I can't even pronounce bro's name. You got Moses Brown. Luai's solid. What's Dewey going to look like? This is tough, boys. Tigers should win, shouldn't they? Tigers should really win. I'm going to lock in the... You know what? I'm going to say Eels now, boys. Just keep an eye on my shorts, because obviously I say who I think is going to win in those as well. I may have to change this one, boys, because sometimes, like normally you just go and sometimes you need time to marinate on it. I'm going to take Eels because I need an upset. I'm going to take at least one upset every round. We'll try to. Actually, if there's just not one there, I'm not taking it. But you know what I mean. Like, for example, I can see ways for the Bunnies to win against the Bulldogs, but I can see ways the Eels win against this. But I need 24 hours to stew on it. And this game's not till Monday. It's Tuesday now. It's 6 days away. I need to stew on this one, boys. I'm sorry. All right. All right, so let's go through it real quick. All right, so we're going Sea Eagles, we're going Doggies, we're going Storms, we're going Broncos, we're going Panthers, we're going Raiders, we're going Sharks, and to be confirmed. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.